in my bones. It's pumping through my veins, the power. Actually, no, I'm not feeling strong at all. I'm just trying to have some fun with you guys. I'm trying to entertain you. Anyway, welcome to another daily edition of Stock Market Mutterings. Doug here with the LincolnList.com. As always, this is where I'll take a grope in the murkiness, try to make some sense out of the market, try to entertain you guys. I'm trying to make this as fun as possible because, let's face it, talking about stocks isn't always that fun. I mean, you could be doing something else right now online. You could be watching kids jumping out of buildings, onto mattresses, swallowing Tide Pods, I don't know. But you chose to be here. And if you're gonna come here, I'm gonna give you some quality trade setups. I'm gonna try to help you guys make some money. So what we'll do is we'll walk over to the computer here real quick. We'll open it up and I got some interesting things I want to share with you guys. So welcome to Stock Market Mutterings. Let's see what we can come up with. All right, so I got everybody now on the webcam. I'm kind of hot and sweaty after that one. Worked up a little sweat on that gig. Anyway, just trying to have some fun. One thing I didn't mention it, or I don't think I mentioned it, as always, if you need help with your personal trading, I know I goof off a lot, and I come across silly sometimes because I'm just trying to have fun with this. But I'm dead serious when it comes to making money. I'm all business. So I've been doing this for a long time, 22 years as a trader now. So if you guys really want to learn what it takes to be a trader, I'm not talking about just hot setups. I'm talking about living the life of a trader. What is required of you to be here long term. Just follow that link. It's somewhere here on the screen. You can trade with us live every day. So I want to show you something here in just a minute, but before I do that, let's take a real brief look here at the markets. We've had a couple of days here of selling, and like I said in the last couple of market mutterings, some of the other things I was talking about here, I just feel this is a head fake. Like they're just trying to shake you out before they get this next re-gear to SPY 300. At least that's what I see in the near short term. Now, as always, that can change. I'm not going to just live and die by that and try to be stubborn. If I see something that changes my opinion, then I'll obviously correct that. But I just want you to look at the daily chart down below. I said unless we got down underneath of the 271s, which is like a stretched out double bottom low that runs over a course of about a month here, at least 271, right? I'll just draw it on the chart so you can see it. Just right down here. Unless we start trading underneath of this, I would expect for us to continue to have this bullish theme. It's just a standard pullback like it was back here, where you've pulled off of the highs, basis for a couple days, re-gears, and breaks a new set of ranges. Pulls right here, holds for a couple days, breaks again, pulls, breaks again, and you got your pull, which is sinking right down into the 277s, which has been solid support for this thing going forward. You got to bounce off of that early this morning. You saw some interest, so after about 2.5 days of selling, or 2 days of selling, followed by a gap down, that's what you got. Now, to really confirm that, you get a move over 286 here, which is a midpoint from highs from Friday. Let's just go with Friday highs. If we can get over Friday's highs up in this 286, I would think we are going to make a run during the course of the month here, maybe even sooner, to 300 again. We're going to find out. Just some things I'm thinking about right there. So just a quick review of the SPY. Again, unless we're trading down here at 270s, then the bullish thing is still going on. Now, here's what I wanted to show you. One of the things that people talk about is just like a setup. They got some strategy they try to sell you on and say, hey, you see this setup, it's always going to work. It's always going to work the same time. Or you're using moving averages, Elliott wave theories, Fibonacci's, whatever you're using. But also, a big key to being successful with your technical analysis is pattern recognition. I've often mentioned that stocks have their own types of behaviors because people trade stocks and people's behaviors trade stocks. Therefore, stocks also have their own behaviors. And you start to see these rhythmic patterns and the behaviors that they have. This is why I did the One Stock, One Trade webinar. If you want to know where it is, just go Google it right up at the top of the YouTube channel. Just put in Lincoln List, One Stock, One Trade strategy webinar. I go into this detail why you have such a significant advantage. I want to show you Netflix because we're going to do this again tomorrow if it's going to continue to play this game, because this guys is how you make money when you see this continual pattern. So I've just got this spanned out from the last 3 days of trading specifically. Actually, you can go back 4, okay? The last 4 days,
look what this thing does. Look at these monster rips. So right here, Netflix, this would be, this is 4 days ago, so that would, this would be Wednesday. So you got Wednesday here, just in the morning. Look how parabolic this thing goes in the morning. So right in the morning, in the first 10, 15 minutes, you go 397 to 412. The next day you open up, you go 409 to 424. The next day you open up, you go 415 to 427. And then today, what do? You go 416s to 428s. Every single day of the week so far, since Wednesday. And even on the down day, it just washes out. It goes, upside down parabolic, if that's inverse parabolic, flush. It just takes off. So what you're seeing here, what I'm trying to get at, is there's this rhythmic pattern here that every single day that the market is open, Netflix does something. It either jams it straight up for 15 to 20 minutes or it jams straight down for 10 to 15 minutes. It doesn't do this haggling in between in most cases or this sideways trading. Watch it do that tomorrow since I highlighted it. But this is how you make money. Look at that. It's almost the same chart. Now the last 2 days, there was an opportunity for that thing to be shorted once it made new highs, and it kind of did the same thing today. So here's another thing why you're looking at both sides, because sometimes you miss and then you have to kind of re-gear or reevaluate where you stand and go a second time. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So on this day it goes parabolic and it reaches that high within the first hour of the day right here. From there it ends up lower by the close, okay? But this was also a weak market day. So it got drugged down here. Even midday, though, nonetheless, by midday, it had sunk down to 414. So this correction right here was 424 to 414, a $10 pullback. I mean, that's significant. The next day, it breaks out and takes out the high, right? Takes out the previous high, which is 424. Squeezes a little higher, but the same thing. Look at the time. Between 710, 720, rolls back over. This time, gives it the whole entire thing back, and then bounces into the close. So what you have here is a vert in the morning, a pullback midday into lunch, and then an attempt to try to rally late in the day. Next day there, Friday, big old vert, pulls all the way back. This time the pullback's deeper, but it's still around that lunchtime session. Then it tries to wiggle its way back up higher in the day. So you're seeing this vert, fade, base, and then try to reclaim that. Same thing today. You come up here, you fade. It lasts a little bit longer. The rally stuck a little longer today, but still the same thing happened. Comes up towards the lunch session, sells back down into the lunch session, right? And then this time it wiggles its way back too high. So it's the same exact pattern. Rip, fade, push. Rip, fade, push. Rip, fade, push. Every freaking day, okay? Every day. So here's the deal. If Netflix gives you the opportunity and starts going vertical tomorrow, 9 times out of 10, that's a long. That is a long, and it most likely will press, and it'll probably press up towards the next phase of resistance, which is 430s. So you could look at a $10 rip right there. After that, once you're moving $8, $10 to $12, it becomes not that good of a buy at that point because you're eating up a lot of that range. If you wanted to, you may want to look at shorting. Of course, the market can have an impact on it. If we have a 400-point market day, this is going to go out the window. But I thought I'd just share that with you. You're looking at stocks to do these kind of things. You're looking at stocks to have rhythmic patterns and routine shapes, routine procedures, and those are how you trade them. So not a bad look right there. Keep that up on the watch there tomorrow. I would expect if you see that thing taken off, then go ahead. Keep it on your watch list. There's some money there. Now, I want to talk about King Baba here because something is up with Baba. You know? I don't know what it is because this thing will not rally. Now, I know at some point it's going to. But I've been watching this thing for a bounce for a week. I just gave up. I gave up Friday, and I thought I'd check back with it today. I'm like, man, the market was up. You had this big rally late. It's still down. What the hell is wrong with BABA? Man. But I still want to watch it. I think at some point you'll see some leveling. I don't know if it's going to go down to this 186s, but keep that in mind. I'm just kind of curious of what's going on with BABA here. Also want to take a look at Team. T-E-A-M. Team. Boy, I like this. Look at that. Big old breakout coming out of earnings, a little bit of a delayed reaction. There's a lot of room in this chart to run. Now, the breakout was here was at 158. You're sitting here at 162, 163, so just a tiny bit of a push above that. But I would look for this thing to build some stability tomorrow. Some sideways trading, some hits off of support where it really kind of holds itself, and then see if this thing can't press towards 170, 172s there. I do like this one. Now, also, the ones that I did want to talk about are my old-time faves. I shouldn't call them old-time, they haven't been around that long. But it's DOCU is one of them. Take a look at this DOCU again. So take a look at this thing here. I mean, look at this daily. It's just flagging again, just setting up another base like it did 2 weeks ago. This thing's lined up again. Looks like it's going to make a march to 120. I mean, this is an unstoppable stock. Now, one of the things I did want to mention, I don't know if I did this already. You can also go back up here. I'm not just intentionally pumping old videos. I just say something. And then it pops into mind, hey, I did a video on that once because I've been doing this forever too. I did a video on that once. It's up there. There's a video, State of the Market in 2020. And I mentioned there's always a handful of stocks that go from $20 to $200 every year. I remember when Nvidia did it. I remember when Tesla did it. I remember when Shop was $44 freaking dollars, right? These things can make some big moves. And I'm looking at this DOCU thinking, this is the one. I mean, this thing was $40 earlier. Look where it is now. This is the next Nvidia style of stock, or a ZM, where these, I'm not saying they're going to do that. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying they have the potential, even at these inflated prices, to still continue to go higher if they want to. I mean, DOCU is another one here. OKTA. I keep talking about this OKTA. It looks the same way. Look at this setup over here on the daily. OKTA. I mean, you go down through, we call them in our, I don't know if this is the right name for them, we call them in our room low float betas. These are just like big beta stocks that just run. This Shop used to be in the hundreds too for a long time, I remember. But you got this one, you got PAYC, right? You got PAYC right here. This one looks good too. All these ones in the space. TDOC, DOCU, QDEL. QDEL is another one. I mean, these things just are getting accumulated, are serious growth stock. Excuse me about QDEL. That's got earnings coming up. I wouldn't mess with that. So going into the market, here's what I want to look at. You've got the potential, I think, for number one, a continuation of the momentum we saw today. And I do feel that the market, based on what I'm seeing, I'm not sold 100% on it, you know, or whatever my feelings I think about my mind, what I want it to do, and what I see is happening are two different things. You know, I would love a deeper, more profound correction to get long, to be honest with you, but I don't feel we're going to see that. I don't. I feel in what I'm looking at and the way the market's working, it's telling me it still wants to press higher. I think we're going to get 300 first. So we're going to have to see, especially with news coming out that many states are reopening again. We're going to have to figure it out. Netflix is a runner every day in some sort or the other. Keep your eye on that thing. There's a lot of cash flow inside of that Netflix right now, and it's got a consistent type of behavior that it goes through over and over again. On top of that, I still want to continue with the thinner beta names that I talked about. I think all of these are great trades if you get the right setup, you wait for a pullback, or you wait for some type of a setup. I think all of these stocks I'm going to mention are bullish and will continue to be bullish and eventually work their way up. They may rotate in the way that they do that, and they may disguise themselves during the day as sell-offs that end up getting bought back up and so on. But I'll run them off here one more time. You've got, obviously, NVIDIA, PAYC, PAYC, OKTA, OKTA, TWLO, TWLO, TDOC, TDOC, ZM, which is ZM. Gosh. QDEL, QDEL. Keep those up there. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching this Market Mutterings. As always, if you need help with your trading, you know how to reach out to me. Thanks for tuning in. Any tips, comments, quarrels, curmudgeons, suggestions, send them to me at support@thelincolnlist.com. Thanks for watching this video. Take care. I'll chat with everyone tomorrow.